What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Mosh checking in again. We got the cozy fit on today because it is a windy day out here in the city of Angels. Like, bro, we're really in a state of emergency due to high winds. Now, if that isn't the most LA shit ever, I don't know what is, bro. Like, some of the freeways are closed down, the schools are closed, you feel me? If you weigh under 120 pounds, you can't go outside because you're gonna get blown away. You feel me? It's kind of crazy, but it's also low-key scary because these are some of the craziest winds I've seen in a minute. But anyway, I digress. So I just kind of wanted to come on here today and kind of talk about on how, like, as independent artists, creators, entrepreneurs, anyone of that matter, but mostly geared towards like independent artists and creators, like, you really got to tread lightly with the whole self-improvement rabbit hole. You feel me? You don't want to find yourself caught too deep in that self-improvement rabbit hole, because what I'm starting to see and kind of realize, bro, like, the way modern day self-improvement is being pushed on people, it's very toxic and it's very, very predatory, you know? Like, I feel like these influencers and these YouTubers who their niche is self-improvement are really just preying on people's insecurities. You know, they're really just preying on people's, yeah, just your insecurities, you feel me? And I say that because, and again, this is like not to knock on self-improvement. Like, you should always strive to become the best version of yourself. But if you start tying your identity to how awesome of a self-improvement guru you are, that's just very toxic. You feel me? It doesn't really allow for life to flow as it should. Especially as someone who creates and someone who is an artist, you kind of need a balance of the good days and the bad days to draw inspiration from, you know? I'm just kind of talking from like my experience, because last year was probably the first year I went full throttle in the whole self-improvement thing, because it just kept popping up on my algorithm, popping up on my YouTube. And at that time, I was in a space of just wanting to, you know, try different things. I just felt like my life wasn't moving in a way it should. I just felt like my life wasn't aligned properly, you know? And then I just kept seeing all these self-improvement videos. So I'm like, oh, maybe I'm just a shitty person and I need to self-improve, you know? Maybe I'm not where I want to be because I'm not taking cold showers in the morning, and I'm not waking up at 4 a.m. and freaking saying 100 affirmations every single day. You know, maybe I'm not where I want to be because I'm not what's the word? I'm not disregarding my relationships with people to focus on me and shit like that, you know? I started using that to justify not being where I wanted to be in life, you know? And to an extent, there's probably certain, like, a little truth in that, but when you make that your end all be all, it gets very toxic. You feel me? It just gets very, very toxic. And then you just kind of become a shell of yourself in a way. And I say that because, as for me, like, let's say you're like really consistent in your self-improvement routine or whatever. Like, maybe you're waking up early and like I said, taking cold showers and saying affirmations and running 100 miles to start the day, and like all these little things, and making your bed and shit like that. It's like, let's say you do that for like a month straight, and then one day you freaking don't make your bed in the morning, and now you just feel shitty because you've now attached your identity to being someone that's consistent at quote unquote self-improvement. But the thing is, self-improvement and the habits of self-improvement differ from people to people, you know? Like, maybe one person, they might actually have a lot of benefit from waking up a few hours earlier. You know, maybe some person might have a benefit from waking up and the first thing they do is make their bed in the morning. Who knows? But to kind of like, to throw this whole blanket on everybody, you know, and like push that narrative of like, oh, if you're not doing this, you're not serious about your life. You're not serious about your dreams. You really don't want it. It's very toxic. And then it just preys on your insecurities, because on the days that you do fall short, you just feel so much shame. You feel such a letdown in yourself, like, oh, maybe I'm not this person that I thought I was, or like maybe I'm not this person that I want to be, and shit like that. And then that shame that you feel in that moment is worse than how you felt at the beginning and when you started that whole self-improvement stuff, you know. So I say all that to say, like, just tread lightly, you know, have grace in yourself. I think that's the most important thing, is having grace and having self-awareness, you know. You don't have to pick up other people's crosses, because that's really what it is. Like, some of the people who are pushing the whole self-improvement thing, number one, you got to understand, like, they need an audience and they need people to buy into that. So if they need people to buy into that so they could make money, their job is to kind of like keep you at that low vibrational state in a way, just by like, it's like reverse anxiety in a way. I don't know how to really like go deep into it, but it's very genius when you really unpack it from like a bird's eye point of view, you know? It's kind of like how it's kind of like the American healthcare system, you know? It's not really focused on curing the individuals. It's more focused on medicating the individuals to keep them at a good enough level where they're never going to be cured, but they're always going to be coming back. But then there's then far and few people in between who do get cured from the medication, but those people are very little compared to the amount of people, you know, taking the medication. You get what I'm saying? So it's like those little success stories, or like those people who get cured from the medication, is what's being highlighted as like, oh, if you want to achieve your dreams, you have to be doing this, and this, and this. And that's just simply not the case, you know? And especially for artists, creators, and things like that, you need to have bad days. I feel like if you're someone who really expresses art, you can't just have good days all the time. You can't just be the best version of yourself all the time. That's boring. as pessimistic as that might sound, bro, that's just boring. You're not gonna have nothing to draw from. You're not gonna have really nothing to. Nobody can relate to somebody who is the best version of themselves all the time. You feel me? And at the end of the day, like, it just comes off as fake, to me at least, you know. So I say all that to say, just tread lightly in their whole self-improvement journey. You got to figure out what self-improvement means for you, and not what someone on the internet is telling you what self-improvement should be, you know. Like, maybe what you need in your life, and again, it all comes down to just like being very in tune with your spirit, with your soul, with your body, with your mind. You know, when you feel misaligned, it's not like your whole life is misaligned. It's probably one aspect of your life that you need to work on, that you're neglecting, okay? And a lot of times it's like you don't even really focus on that aspect when you are self-improving. You're focusing on these other things that are like vanity metrics in a way, you know? Half the time as artists, independent artists and creators, when you feel misaligned, I've come to really realize, just after talking with people, it really just has to do with your relationships with the world and with other people. You're just not cultivating the right relationships, and that's where you feel that misalignment. But then, you know, you're watching all these YouTube videos and people on the internet are telling you it's because, oh, you're not waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning and doing cold showers and running 100 miles and reading 3 books in a week. You know, that's why your life sucks. Come on, bro. Like, let's change the narrative a little bit and start just defining what self-improvement is for you, you know? And what I kind of do, I feel like that's kind of helped me, is, I don't know if you guys have read that book, The Artist's Way. And I think that's a book any type of any type of artist, creator, anybody in general should read and really take the nuggets from that book. But one thing that really has helped me is the morning pages. Excuse me. So what morning pages are is when you wake up in the morning, first thing you do, just open up a book and just write for 3 pages straight. It does not have to be coherent. It doesn't have to make sense. It could be like whatever comes to mind, just write it down for 3 straight pages. And after like a couple of days of doing that, and like a week of doing that, you'll really find out what's bothering you inside. It's just gonna come out on the paper. You're gonna really find what's bothering you inside, and you're gonna really find and have a deeper level of understanding of yourself and what you need to do. Because at the end of the day, if we're being real, we all know what it is we need to do, but most importantly, we all know what it is we need to not be doing to get back in alignment with ourselves. You know, going down the rabbit hole on YouTube and watching all those self-improvement videos is just performative action. You know, you're just kind of doing something because it feels good in that moment. You feel like you're doing something to kind of make progress, but really it's just performative action, you know? So you just got to define what self-improvement is for you, and you just got to define why you feel misaligned in the first place, and then attack it from that level, you know? But that's really all I got for this video. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Break by break, we out. Peace.